Hi. Welcome to another episode of Fact Engine where I cover science, technology, business, and history. The sky is a seemingly endless dome of blue hue, covering our planet Earth and visible from nearly every point on its surface.
You are watching Fact Engine TV.
Why is the sky blue? The sky appears blue to the human eye as the short waves of blue light are scattered more than the other colors in the spectrum, making the blue light more visible. To understand why the sky is blue, we first need to understand a little bit about light. Although light from the sun looks white, it is really made up of a spectrum of many different colors, as we can see when they are spread out in a rainbow. We can think of light as being a wave of energy, and different colors all have a different wavelength. At one end of the spectrum is red light, which has the longest wavelength, and at the other is blue and violet lights, which have a much shorter wavelength. When the sun's light reaches the Earth's atmosphere, it is scattered, or deflected, by the tiny molecules of gas, mostly nitrogen and oxygen, in the air. Because these molecules are much smaller than the wavelength of visible light, the amount of scattering depends on the wavelength. This effect is called Rayleigh scattering, named after Lord Rayleigh, who first discovered it. Shorter wavelengths, violet and blue, are scattered the most strongly, so more of the blue light is scattered towards our eyes than the other colors. You might wonder why the sky doesn't actually look purple, since the violet light is scattered even more strongly than blue. This is because there isn't as much violet in sunlight to start with, and our eyes are much more sensitive to blue. The blue light that gives the sky its color is sufficiently bright to make all the stars that we see at night disappear, since the light they emit is much dimmer. Why does the blue fade towards the horizon? You might also notice that the sky tends to be most vibrant overhead, and fades to pale as it reaches the horizon. This is because the light from the horizon has had further to travel through the air, and so has been scattered and rescattered. The Earth's surface also plays a role in scattering and reflecting this light. As a result of this increased amount of scattering, the dominance of blue light is decreased, and so we see an increased amount of white light. Sunlight reaches Earth's atmosphere and is scattered in all directions by all the gases and particles in the air. Blue light is scattered more than the other colors because it travels as shorter, smaller waves. This is why we see a blue sky most of the time. It's easy to see that the sky is blue. Have you ever wondered why? A lot of other smart people have, too. And it took a long time to figure it out. The light from the sun looks white, but it is really made up of all the colors of the rainbow. When white light shines through a prism, the light is separated into all its colors. A prism is a specially shaped crystal. If you visited the land of the magic windows, you learn that the light you see is just one tiny bit of all the kinds of light energy beaming around the universe and around you. Like energy passing through the ocean, light energy travels in waves too. Some light travels in short, choppy waves. Other light travels in long, lazy waves. Blue light waves are shorter than red light waves. All light travels in a straight line unless something gets in the way and does one of these things. Number 1. Reflect it like a mirror. Number 2. Bend it like a prism. Number 3. Scatter it like molecules of the gases in the atmosphere. Sunlight reaches Earth's atmosphere and is scattered in all directions by all the gases and particles in the air. Blue light is scattered in all directions by the tiny molecules of air in Earth's atmosphere. Blue is scattered more than other colors because it travels as shorter, smaller waves. This is why we see a blue sky most of the time. Closer to the horizon, the sky fades to a lighter blue or white. The sunlight reaching us from low in the sky has passed through even more air than the sunlight reaching us from overhead. As the sunlight has passed through all this air, the air molecules have scattered and rescattered the blue light many times in many directions. Also, the surface of Earth has reflected and scattered the light. All this scattering mixes the colors together again, so we see more white and less blue. What makes a red sunset? As the sun gets lower in the sky, its light is passing through more of the atmosphere to reach you. Even more of the blue light is scattered, allowing the reds and yellows to pass straight through to your eyes. Sometimes the whole western sky seems to glow. The sky appears red because small particles of dust, pollution, or other aerosols also scatter blue light, leaving more purely red and yellow light to go through the atmosphere. Is the sky blue on other planets too? It all depends on what's in the atmosphere. For example, Mars has a very thin atmosphere made mostly of carbon dioxide and filled with fine dust particles. These fine particles scatter light differently than the gases and particles in Earth's atmosphere. Photos from NASA's rovers and landers on Mars have shown us that at sunset there is actually the opposite of what you'd experience on Earth. During the daytime, the Martian sky takes on an orange or reddish color. But as the sun sets, the sky around the sun begins to take on a blue-gray tone. So thanks for watching this video. If you want to see anything on science, technology, business, or history, feel free to subscribe. There will be a lot of content on this channel. This is Amol, and you have been watching Fact Engine, and I will catch you in the next video. Cheers guys, have a good one.